This will be a quick summary of what lies ahead for Sendo versus Ricardo, and I'll also talk about why Ippo's comeback is confirmed and not that far away. I did a couple of videos on his comeback, but I found some panels that seal the deal completely now. If I end up being wrong, you can call me King Schizo, but now bear with me. Let's go back to right before Mashiba's fight. The two journalists visited Mashiba and Sendo at their gyms to talk about their championship fights. Imura asks Sendo if he really sees a path to victory against an invincible champion like Ricardo. He says Wally and the other guys that lost to Ricardo have showed him the path. Undefeated doesn't mean invincible. Then he stands in front of the heavy bag and says, that just means he ain't fought me yet. Pay attention to the setting. The heavy bag position at the bright circle behind Sendo's head. And now on to Mashiba's interview. Same interview basically. Fuji asks him about Rosario. He says, do you have any aspirations for the world stage? Mashiba cuts him off and says that's just basic. And then he says, shut up and just watch me. Mind you, this is the same exact angle we saw Sendo from before. Both in front of the heavy bag with a dark background and the bright circle. And neither of them said, I'll win the belt. Sendo said Ricardo hasn't fought me yet, and Mashiba said, watch me. If Mashiba lost with this statement, I don't see Sendo winning either. It may be simple, but that's definitely a pattern, because there's something else. Shortly after this panel, Takamura straight up says Sendo, Mashiba, out. Why show this directly after this symbolic scene? Same setting, similar statements. And then Takamura goes on to foreshadowing their losses. When Ippo hears about the interviews from Fuji, he looks super depressed and starts walking towards the heavy bag. He sits down and says, it's only me who... And then look at this. It's the same setting we saw Mashiba and Sendo in just now. He's sitting behind the heavy bag and has the bright circle behind his head too. But he doesn't say anything. But there's more. A certain light seems to be approaching him. He's sitting on the bench. On the bench. He's literally benched at the moment, but brighter days are coming. Call me whatever you want, but you can't deny there's a certain reasoning behind this. Why go through the trouble of drawing this particular scene? Every single panel has a meaning. Fuji and Imura witness the whole moment and know that Ippo has a heavy heart. He literally wants to fight on the world stage as well. After leaving the gym, they say, it doesn't really seem like his time has truly stopped. Bro, they're saying it directly to our faces. Ippo's time isn't over yet. And I got one more juicy piece of information for you. When Aoki said Rosario was strong-ish, Takamura said, I don't like the way you're talking. He says strong-ish? F out of here with that condescending tone. The likes of you is really going to cop an attitude like that towards the world champion? He's warning us, the readers, to not take Rosario lightly, because we were indeed tricked by his personality in prison time. Then Takamura hits Aoki with a move and says, that's how Rosario is going to exterminate the Grim Reaper. A cross. Back then we thought this was a joke, right? But look at this. This is the last punch Rosario threw in that fight. After that punch, Mashiba was basically unconscious. And what is Rosario's left hand doing? It's crossing Mashiba's right hand. Morikawa planned it all. From start to end. Nothing is left to chance or coincidence.